Today's feature is Abhinav Pandagale, creator of the BugZee electronic art badge, winner of the Badge of Hope award in our BadgeLove contest. Abhinav sent us a number of these kits to assemble with the Hackster team in the office, and it was super fun and very educational. Good morning, Abhinav! So you brought your BugZee winning badge to DEF CON China and ran workshops with it, right?
Yeah, we had fantastic village in DEF CON China. I just returned like maybe a week ago.
What was the workshop like?
So when we first got started discussing it, I just proposed them that, okay, I will have like maybe a table or two and maybe have 5 soldering machines and let's do 100 or 200. But then the DEF CON guys, they actually wanted to make it a lot bigger. So they asked, what would it take if we want to have like maybe 20 soldering machines and let's say 400 or 500 of them. And so we ended up doing around more than 500, definitely. I took, I think, 600 kits with me to China.
600 kits?
Yeah, and it was so phenomenal. Like on all 3 days, we were like all the machines were continuously working on. And I kept saying to my team as well, it's like a soldering marathon. And so we had kids as young as 8-year-old to, I think we also had one grandpa who was, I think, 65. I remember, but yeah, we had people from all age groups, and yeah, I think people really loved it. Yeah.
That's rad. So everyone from 8-year-olds to 65-year-old, that's incredible. Let's take a quick look at this badge because I think people want to see it.
Oh yeah. So this one's the yeah. So maybe much closer.
So cool.
One of the thing we have done is it comes with this thing. I think I have sent you as well. It says, maybe not here. It says Badge of Hope, basically.
Because that's the section you won in the contest.
Yeah, Badge of Hope. Yeah. So I have like 4 types of these. Like I will show you the first one. Actually, this is the one I made at home. It's the homemade one, just one layer of PCB, and has this. This is the vibrator, and then there's this buzzer kind of thing. Whenever it would see an obstacle, it would like, scream buzzers and stuff. And then somehow this turned to this one, which is basically this one on a production level, with the entire design and with greenish, and then bit more changes, and we changed the circuit, and then to this one, glow in the dark. So quite a lot of journey in there, like almost 2 years of evolution with the badge.
That is so cool. And you've been through a few different circuit designs with it. Did that first one have an AT Tiny on it?
No, it's not the AT Tiny one. It's just BC 557, the transistor, and then there's a buzzer, and yep, there is a IR LEDs here.
Oh, cool.
So this was the first BugZee we did, I think, a couple of years ago for a conference in India, in Kerala. And then I wanted to change the circuits somehow, because I was finding still people were finding it a bit challenging. So I kind of turned it into this one. Then it's like the glow in the dark, and you see it's okay. And then when you try it,
look at that.
Yeah, so different kinds of, really. And we always encouraged attendees to actually go back home and do your own experimentation. I would really love to see what people do with this badge. Make their own version of it, basically. And in DEF CON as well, I think I posted on Twitter about it. Some guy, he actually soldered 4 LEDs. I was like, okay, nobody thought of that before.
Did it work?
So yeah, it worked really well. And the best part was he soldered for the first time in life. I think we have been in, I think, 3 to 4 conferences with this badge, and people really love to start with the solder. So I just wanted to get people started with the electronics and the hardware. And I just thought this is much more cooler and creative way. I think people kept loving it. I think I owe it all to the community.
I was going to say, it looks so cool compared to your usual sort of starter badge.
Oh yeah, so this is I call out beginner badge. Basically, anyone can solder. If you have this kit, and So some of the later on, the more badges we are doing, they are slightly more advanced, and you know they have much of, like, let's say, embedded, and then some with Arduino, and some with all the IoT chips and stuff. But this one, of course, is for everyone who just wants to have a try at soldering.
So let's pull up this page that you did on it. You did a really nice tutorial on the BugZee. We've got the electronic bee, and I noticed these resistor legs remind me a lot of the, have you ever seen the Monarch from Boldport?
Oh yeah, Bolpot. Yeah, I know the Bolpot guys. Yeah,
Yeah, they've got the same.
yeah.
I love this
It
resistor
is.
leg design that you have. Let's have a look. Okay, so here we go. There's a photoresistor version. We've got our transistor at the bottom there, and your buzzer. So, what was your process like in designing this? Clearly, you've made the design, and then you've sort of changed the circuit around the first time, a few times. But what came first, the circuit or the B design?
Well, in this one, actually, I was asked to just make a kit for kids to solder in the conference, and they were having this kit section in the conference. It was Cocon conference in Kochi, Kerala. So I think I started with the design first, and I kept thinking, okay, it was asked. I was asked by OAS community. It's the web applications security project, and I looked at the logo and I thought, okay, it's the bug thing, and in hacking world as well, everyone's trying to find bugs and stuff. So maybe I should create some bug that's also tribute to the community as well. So I started with the design first, and with the bug I started thinking what circuits can we put into it.
Right. Cool. And you settled
Yeah.
on this awesome design. How did you learn how to design these circuits?
So I really started with the Corel Draw actually, and I think I also have a screenshot in there. I think maybe.
Yeah,
Uh, that,
here you described it up here. The process
oh
starts
yeah, here, yeah,
real
right here,
drawing.
yeah. So yeah, so I really bad drawing, I accept, but
I think it's
on
cute.
paper. So I started, it's like I just draw a bug somehow, and then tried to put all the circuits on it, and started from there. We took it to the Corel Draw, and then yeah, design the entire thing, and then bring it to the all the PCB software and stuff. So yeah.
So what other conferences are you planning to bring this to?
Um, well, I would say we are considering DEF CON 27 at Vegas, but that, let's just say that just a hint. I wouldn't say more than that, because there are a lot of logistics to take care of and a lot of things to look after to host a village on that level. So, but yeah, but the BugZee, definitely, if it happens again, it will be in DEF CON 27. And for all the other conferences, we have their on different badges in different contexts. So
Yeah, it would be a
yeah,
perfect
so,
environment for this.
oh yes, and some of the badges, they will also come with their own CTF on it, and lots of stuff, lots of creative stuff to do. Yeah.
Uh, did you mention a CTF just now?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I noticed on your website, so you can buy these from your website, which is hackerwares.in. And it looks like there's a number of other badges that you've created as well as these CTFs that you're talking about, the capture the flag competitions, which is so super cool.
Yep.
So what can you tell me about these other badges here? They look really cool.
So the black one here, it's made for the same conference in Kochi. We basically wanted to get people started with embedded C programming, and somehow, persistence of vision, right? Yep. So when we made the badge, we just wanted people to get creative with it and somehow program their own name into that badge, and that was our entire effort. It was all about LEDs and stuff. That one has the Atomic Guide, by the way, and you
Oh,
can
cool.
reprogram. Yeah, you can reprogram it
Right,
and
because you were
stuff.
teaching people to program embedded C, so like putting an actual Arduino compatible.
Oh yes.
So cool. I love the design of this one too. You sort of did the thing of where you leave off some of the solder mask to expose the substrate underneath, and it
Yeah.
looks really nice.
So what? what happened is basically we couldn't find reverse mount LEDs that time in India.
Oh,
So somehow we had to do this sort of our own, somehow work around to have like LEDs and then point them little downwards. So that somehow still worked fine actually. Not the best, but it worked fine. Yeah.
well, it looks really
So
cool. I love that. And then you've got
yeah.
this ladybug from before.
Yes. So the ladybug, that's the one developed by Boldport.
Cool.
And yeah, so what happened is when I started with the badges thing, a conference just wanted to have soldering village with it, and they weren't able to find manufacturers and like one person to take care of everything. And that's when I came and it was like, okay, let me check, let me see. And so that was the first instruction with the bold port. And I think I really loved the ladybug. We started with that, and originally I think it was in white or I think yellow something color. So we turned it into red and did some own experimentation on it. So
Mm.
we also had soldering village with this. Yeah, this was designed by the bold port, and but it was manufactured in India by us. And I think that time we worked on I think thousands of those together.
Wow. And people can collaborate with you to produce their own
Yes.
custom boards and stuff.
Oh, yes. Also, you're talking about the CTF, right? So we hosted a CTF. This was our first CTF, by the way, in institution called IIT Delhi, and we had basically a DigiSpark and with all the rubber ducky stuff on it. And after lots of these electronic and all the rubber ducky challenges, the final challenge was is basically had a virus on it, and it would uh, turn off your laptop or system and not let it start at all.
Oh
Like every
no.
time it will start, it will shut down. And that was quite a challenge. Like, well, it was not that harmful. It was pretty harmless. It just had some commands executed. But that
Because I've
was
seen ones that
really,
like would short out the computer completely and destroy it if you plugged in this USB. So this isn't nearly as malicious.
yeah, it wasn't actually harmful. It just executed some commands quickly, and you had to figure out what exactly happened with it.
Oh.
So but the best part was actually when I hosted it at the college. um, so many kids, they actually came up with a totally different way, the ways which I didn't think of before. And that was really cool. Like even I got to learn something from them. And many kids found their own way. Some had this live cd booted in, and some had this other way going around. So quite quite lot of creative thinking right there in the city. So we
That's
I think
fantastic.
we will, yeah, and I think will maybe do something similar in nearby conference soon actually.
So do you have
So
any other hobbies that kind of overlap with this or they inform each other?
overlap
Because
with
you're pretty
this.
good with Corel Draw. Like I'm guessing this isn't the first time you've used it, or else you're just like really good.
I would say hobbies, I just play guitar sometime, and
Huh,
I like to cook food. Yeah. uh,
nice.
Totally unrelevant. Yeah. Totally irrelevant. Yeah.
What are your favorite other boards that you've seen besides Boldport, like other really cool badges?
So one of my favorite badges is that Andor badge with that entire skull design thing.
Oh.
I saw, yeah, and I saw last year's DEF CON badge as well. I really loved it. The entire building and reverse mount LEDs. It was a really good challenge. It was a really good puzzle actually. And before that as well, they had a skull design badge. I think it was designed by Lost Boy, and they had a skull design badge and some, I think, four switches on each side and then some LEDs glowing in it. That was really cool as well.
Oh, I'd love to
And
see that.
yeah, there's one more. So Joe Grant, I think he was
Oh
also the
yeah.
judge of yeah. So I met him in DEF CON China, and amazing guy. And one of his badge he did, I think it was for DEF CON 17. um, and it was like this microphone and the LED combination. So LEDs would change colors depending on the sound and stuff. Really cool. Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
good.
it seems like you're really so a lot of makers will or badge makers will design things that have like just some blinky lights or whatever, but you really do a lot of this interaction kind of stuff. Like it moves around, it can like sense distance, it can sense
Hmm.
sound, it can sense light levels and stuff like that. They're very interactive. I love that.
Yeah, so like when I think the first batch as well when we did this, so this one actually this had open pads actually, and we were encouraging attendees. So you have these open pads right in here. Um, like go do something about it, like maybe solar LEDs figure out something, or
Mm.
solar something else. So I think many people at that time, I think they also solar LEDs. Some people really solar LEDs on it, and it still worked pretty good. I think it was a creative idea.
Is that where
So
the
I
guy put on the extra couple of LEDs that you were talking about?
No, that was the recent one in DEF CON China. This was the
Uh,
first edition badge. So these also had these open pads. Actually, they weren't used in the conference, but somehow we encourage attendees to, when they go back home, take another look at it and come up with your own style and come up with your own idea,
I love
whatever you
it.
want to do.
It's the
Yeah,
essence of hacking. So you showed us your
yeah.
first prototype there. How did you fabricate that?
This one, uh,
Yeah.
right.
Is that copper tape or
So
toner transfer?
yeah, so I have these copper clad boards at my place, and basically I draw by sketch pen. You can see these tracks actually, mm, and these are like much more fancier tracks. They are not like really proper professional quality, but yeah, so these tracks I draw by sketch pen, and make the circuits and then connect this to the all the components. And then I have this all the ferric chloride powder, and I can each at home in half an hour, and then start. I also have a drilling machine as well, so um, have this so far.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, can't color though. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's figure something out about that. But if you can color, that would be really good.
I mean,
You
I've seen
have
people use
this.
like nail polish as a sort of solder mask.
Oh yes, I have thought about that too, but not the color I wanted.
Uh,
But that's a good idea. Yeah, there are lot of things you can do. Maybe I will try it next time. But it's good. I love this because you have from idea to prototype, you are just maybe 2-3 hours away. Not
yeah.
very far.
So you
Yeah.
mentioned for next time, do you have other designs in the works? What are you up to?
Oh yes, we have a lot of badges coming up in all around the globe actually. So with the badges, we're also trying to have some CTF with it where people can, you know, solve hacking challenges on it, or like just sit down there, try to get some components and do something more with the electronics as well. So yeah, a lot of badges planned
Awesome.
for, yeah, in upcoming times. Yeah.
And what things do you think you will carry forward in terms of ideas from your previous badges, and what might you change from what you've done before in design?
Oh, in terms of design.
Yeah, and like things that worked, things that didn't work very well.
Uh-huh. So I think things that worked well is having flexibility in the badge. That's like having ability to put add-ons or like do more with it. Have your own version of it.
Right.
I think that I will definitely take forward, because I really want people to get creative with it and do their own innovation with the badge. Uh, Now, the things that didn't work out, I think the technicality level, especially with this badge. So when we made the obstacle avoider circuit and with this entire transistor and IR LED and buzzer thing, actually most people found it bit. I think it was little too technical. For them to actually really understand it and get to it. So also considering the audience that came, that was mostly the beginner audience. They weren't the electronic experts, obviously.
Right.
So I think if there's one thing I would change is not make it way too technical for an ordinary person to sit down and figure something out. I think that should I think I will change is to make it easy for everyone to engage with it, and of course those who have the expertise, they can always do more with it, with the
Yeah.
technology. And there is one more thing that I really love is I think the philosophy that I saw in Joe Grant as well. It was the badges essentially, they were not the best display of the technology. They aren't about the technology, but the Joe Grant's badge, this year's badge specifically in DEF CON China, it was about community, and it was about making people um, collaborate more, making people communicate more. There's the tree design. It's a flexible PCB tree design, and it has all these LEDs on it. And basically, you have to visit the specific part of the conference, and they had this. Even we had one. They had this small programmer thing. You put the badge into it, and one more LED glows. So you go and collect all the LEDs, and yeah, that was to encourage people to network more, and the community communicate more with each other.
I mean, DEF
So
CON last year, I got one of their badges, and you had to like intersect them. Like they had these little connectors that were really kind of finicky, but yeah, it was the same kind of thing. You had to like collect different types of badges by talking to people with different things.
Yeah, I love the philosophy. I think maybe I think that's also something I would like to work on.
And you've got that on your site pretty prominently here in the sort of philosophy section. The best way to learn something is to curiously experiment with it and make your own piece of creativity. Totally.
Oh yes, yeah.
And so people can follow you on your Facebook page, among other things, Hackerwares, and of course you're on Hackster. What's your Hacks from Panda? That's a great username.
Yeah, sort of like tweets from Panda and hacks from Panda. Yeah.
Cool. And they can go to hackerwares.in to check out more of what you've done. You also have a YouTube channel where you posted this soldering tutorial.
Oh yeah, yeah, the soldering tutorial. So what happened is we figured like maybe the language problem, we may face the language problem in China because most people don't know English. So we made this bunch of badge manuals, both in English and in Chinese, and with all the pictures and stuff. And then we had the video as well, and it also had the Chinese subtitles on it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep. Yeah, so we had this playing all the time in the background in the village on big TVs. So just wanted to even if you can just take a look at TV and go along with it. So
it looks like you really put a lot of thought into making it accessible. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah, like we had to be really prepared with that one. Yeah.
So what's this shirt you're wearing? It looks like it's the same circuit. Is that right? Your t-shirt?
Which one?
Oh
yeah. So so we made this.
That's cool. Sweet. So I guess people, where's the best place for people to follow you to get updated on what you're doing? You mentioned Twitter?
Yeah, I think Twitter, yeah.
And that is twitter.com/tweetsfrompanda. Again, same as your Hackster username. Let's pull this up. Awesome. Very exciting. Anything you'd like to throw in before we wrap up here?
Nothing much. I would just say like if you happen to the village at DEF CON, I would just come by and say hi to us. I would really love to meet everyone in the community, and maybe you can come and sit down and solder a bee as well. Yeah.
That's so cool. I'll totally come by.
Yeah, it will be awesome. Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and congrats on your win.
Oh, thanks so much. Hack on.
Hack on.